Gopi Jana Vallabha Bhattari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Devam Vishpad Parivrajakaria Shtotra Sata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadramai Shri Shri Gaurnithai Ki Harinam Sankirtan Mahayag Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavritta Ki Jai Gaur Premanande Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 10, Text number 20. Savai Bhavaloka Nirikshanartham Savai Bhavaloka Nirikshanartham Avyaktalingo Vicharatyapusvit Avyaktalingo Vicharatyapisvit Yogeshwaranam Gatimanda Buddhi Yogeshwaranam Gatimanda Buddhi Katam Vichakshita Gruhanubandha Katham Vichakshita Gruhanubandha Savai Bhavaloka Nirikshanartham Savai Bhavaloka Nirikshanartham Avyaktalingo Vicharatyapsvit Avyaktalingo Vicharatyapisvit Yogeshwaranam Gatimanda Buddhi Yogeshwaranam Gatimanda Buddhi Katam Vichakshita Gruhanubandha Katham Vichakshita Gruhanubandha Vibhavaloka Nirikshanartham Avyaktalingo Vicharatyapisvit Yogeshwaranam Gatimanda Buddhihi Katam Vichakshita Gruhanubandha. Lokeshwaranam Gatimanda Buddhi Katam Vichakshita Gruhanubandha. Yeah. Tavai Bhavaloka Nirikshanartham Avyaktalingo Vicharatyapisvit Yogeshwaranam Gatimanda Buddhi Katam Vichakshita Gruhanubandha. Saha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or his incarnation Kapila Deva. Why? Indeed, Bhavan, your good self, Loka Nirikshana Artham, just to study the characteristics of the people of this world. Apiswit. Sorry. Avyaktalingaha, without manifesting your real identity. Vicharita. Vicharati, are traveling in this world. Apiswit, whether Yogishwaranam, of all the advanced yogis, Gatim, the characteristics of actual behavior, Andhabuddhihi, who are illusioned and have become blind to spiritual knowledge. Katham, how vichakshita, may know gruha anubandha, I am bound by attachment to family life or worldly life. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Is it not a fact that your good self is the direct representative of Kapila Deva, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? To examine people and to see who is actually a human being and who is not, you have presented yourself to be a deaf and dumb person. Are you not moving this way upon the surface of the world? I am very attached to family life and worldly activities. I am blind to spiritual knowledge. Nonetheless, I am now present before you and I am seeking enlightenment from you. How can I advance in spiritual life? Report. Although Maharaj Rahugana was playing the part of a king, he had been informed by Jada Bharata that he was not a king, nor was Jada Bharata deaf and dumb. Such designations were simply coverings of the spirit soul. Everyone must come to this knowledge as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Dehinosmin yata dehe. Everyone is encased within the body. Since the body is never identical with the soul, the bodily activities are simply illusory. In the association of such a sadhu as Jada Bharata, Maharaj Rahugana came to the awareness that his activities as royal authority were simply illusory phenomena. He therefore agreed to receive knowledge from Jada Bharata. And that was the beginning of his perfection. Tat vijnanartam sagurum eva vigachet. A person like Maharaj Rahugana was very inquisitive to know the value of life and the spiritual science must approach a personality like Jada Bharata. Tasmad gurum prapadyeta jignasu shreya uttamam. Bhagavatam 11.3.21. One must approach a guru like Jada Bharata, a representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to inquire about the goal of human life. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Yananjana Shalakaya Akshurun Tam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Upesha Gopiga Kanta Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat after me. Is it not a fact that your good self is the direct representative of Kapila Deva, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? To examine people and see who is actually a human being and who is not, you presented yourself to be a deaf and dumb person. Are you moving this way upon the surface of the world? I am very attached to family life and worldly activities, and I am blind to spiritual knowledge. Nonetheless, I am now present before you, and I am seeking enlightenment from you. How can I advance in spiritual life? Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So Rahugana is speaking to Maharaj Rahugana is speaking to Jada Bharata. The word Jada means heavy, dull, dull-headed basically, but very stout, heavy and dull. So the word Jada means that motionless. Jada also means motionless. Jada means somebody who does not act, does not react. Is very dull, very motionless, very fat, very bulky, motionless. So Bharata is addressed as Jada Bharata. So even though he had a stout, heavy body, somehow Rahuguna thought that he was carrying the palanquin in a very irresponsible manner, in a very disrespectful and careless and offensive manner. But and then Rahugana chastises him. First he ridicules him, he insults him, he says, seems like you are very old, you are very weak, you are very tiny, you are very puny, you are not able to carry this weight. So that is why I think you are struggling to carry me. So Jada Bharata is being insulted by Maharaj Rahugana. Then Jada Bharata continues to carry the palanquin in the same way. It is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam that he was very watchful to see that he does not stamp on insects and ants and other things. So he used to dodge the insects or ants whenever he finds them, and that is why he was carrying in a very unsteady fashion. And this time around, Maharaj Rahugana becomes even more angry and he tells him, are you not aware that I am the king? I am your master, you are my slave. Is this the way to carry the palanquin? You seem to have grown up, you have so much muscle. Why are you insisting on being so disrespectful and so negligent and offensive? Do you understand that I can punish you? I have the authority, I am the king and I can punish you. Do you understand that? Maharaj Rahugana thought maybe by scaring Jada Bharata, Bharata will become more careful in carrying him. But Bharata, very self-realized, great personality, replies to Ravuguna, King Ravuguna. He says that, I can understand that you're reacting out of anger. You're becoming very angry and you're reacting. But actually, Ravuguna calls him a fool, etc. Fool, deaf, dumb, incapable. He uses all these words. You're deaf, you're dumb, you're foolish, like that. Ravuguna. So, Jadabharata in reply says that I'm neither foolish, nor intelligent, nor dull, nor I'm spirit soul. He just says I'm the spirit soul. And by the way, you're also neither the king nor the master nor anything. I am not your servant, nor you are my master, nor you are my. You're also a spirit soul like me. So, like that, Jadabharata replies. Ravuguna has never been spoken to like that, I think. So, Jadabharata gives him back. Very respectfully, of course. But he says, why are you in this false perception that you're the king and you're the boss and I'm the servant, and neither of us are not, you're neither the king nor am I the servant. We're just spirit souls. And by the way, whatever you're claiming to be king, it's already a very, very temporary designation of your body, but it has nothing to do with your soul. So he finds it astounding that somebody like Jadabharata could speak so much with so much clarity, conviction, and courage. He finds it very surprising. And then he realizes, and then he's replying to a king who threatened that I will punish you, I can have you killed if I want for what you're doing. So to find somebody reply back so carefully, respectfully, but at the same time speak absolute spiritual truth. So Maharaj Ravuguna panics. And so the story goes that Maharaj Ravuguna jumps out of the palanquin and then falls flat at Jadabharata's feet, lotus feet, and begs pardon, apologizes, seeks forgiveness. And then he says, you have opened my eyes. I was carried away by this wrong notion that I am the king, I am the master, and you are my servant. And but what to do? We are all family people. For everybody nowadays, I mean, in Bhagavatam, sometimes you use this as an excuse. We're all family people. We're all married and have a wife and children. So, what else can you expect out of family people, out of grihasthas? So Ravuguna takes that as excuse. He says, we're all family people, very attached to the wife, family, children, king, etc. So what do you expect from us? You should not expect anything more. Like that, he says. But anyway, it's a different matter that being a family man it's no excuse and no. We cannot hide behind such excuses. I'm a family man, I'm a businessman, I'm working in the IT field, I don't have the time. I don't get the time. I'm living in a big city, I spend so much time commuting. All this is not possible. We have to understand that if you understand the value of human life, the precious nature of human life, the human breakthrough that we have got, then you will not let anything come in the way. That's a different matter. But then they have a conversation, Jadabharata and Maharaj Ravuguna. So eventually we come to a stage where Ravuguna is accepting Jadabharata as some kind of a spiritual preceptor. So someone who is spiritually qualified to instruct him. And then here in this verse today, verse number 20, Ravuguna is coming clean. He is admitting that I think you are probably representative of Kapila Deva. You have come here to check up and find out who is human being and who is not. Somebody who is not aware that he is a living and his Atma, and the purpose of human life is to spiritually evolve. He's not a human being. So you're fond of your bodily status, bodily attachments. So Raugana is asking, are you representative of Kapila Deva who has come to find out who is human being and who is not? And definitely you're not a dumb and you're presenting yourself as a dumb and dumb person so that you can examine, you can find out who is human being, who is not. And he says that while you're trying to do good to the world by finding out who is human, who is not, I am one of those who deserves your mercy. You have to show some compassion and instruct me and guide me, because I am one of those who has become a victim of this material world. I'm very attached to family life, my position, my family, my kingdom, my authority, my power, my body, everything. I have become very attached to all of this, and hence, please instruct me, please guide me, please instruct me. And in the last line, he says, how can I advance in spiritual life? Because I am here present before you seeking enlightenment from you. Please let us know, let me know how to, what should I do in this life? What is the purpose and value of human life? Atato Brahma Jignasa. So Raugana is on that platform now. Atato Brahma Jignasa. Please instruct me, please let me know. Actually, this is a question that every intelligent person should ask. Jignasu. Every intelligent, curious person should ask, what's happening in this world? Why am I suffering? Why there's such a big gap between what I want to achieve, what I want to do, what I want to become, what I think of myself and reality? Why is such a huge gap? Why am I sometimes so frustrated? Why am I depressed? Why am I always bouncing from one problem, one crisis to another? Why is there no peace in this world? And who are you? Who is God? So this is a sign of intelligence that we ask these questions. And repeatedly in the scripture it is said that only human being can ask these questions. So if the human being also wastes his life running behind materialistic pursuits, which even the animals can obtain, then what's the point? Then you become a dvipada pashu, two-legged animal. So human being means meant for inquiry, meant to ask questions, meant to hear, meant to ask, meant to search for a genuine spiritual guide, meant to search for God. This is the purpose of human life. And so what is the purpose of the enlightened people? The purpose of the enlightened people is to educate, is to speak, is to reveal what is correct, what is proper, and guide and remove the darkness of ignorance and give happiness to people. Ultimately, everybody wants to be happy. And to help them realize that happiness means staying connected with Krishna. If you're not connected with Krishna, then you're on your own, pretty much on your own, and then you are the maker of your own destiny, and then we're not very good at making destiny for ourselves. We normally mess it up, so we suffer. We're very good at messing up things. So the goal of life is to ask these questions and find answers. So to find answers, we need courage, we need honesty. We need honesty. Because very often we see that people, they settle for some compromised knowledge and they cheat themselves. This whole thing, I'm okay, you're okay, everybody's okay, everybody's fine. And they all settle for, somehow when it comes to spirituality, they settle for something which is a compromise, some mishmash, which is neither spiritual basis nor parampara basis nor anything, just something you heard from somebody you tend to believe and make a bigger mess of one's life. So to ask these questions, to have the courage to pursue them until you get the right answers, requires honesty, requires courage, also requires some good fortune to meet a pure devotee and understand that he's like Raugana is now understanding that you're probably representative of Kapila Deva. And your only purpose of going around in this world is to enlighten, is to awaken people from their slumber, from their from their illusion, wake them up and give them proper knowledge. To me, it appears like that's the only purpose for which you are going around in this world. So let me offer myself. I'll become your student, first student. This is questions have all. Prabhupada said, Raguna was also some kind of a spiritual enthusiast. So he submits these questions immediately. He says, tell me what's going on. Tell me who am I? If I am not king, if I am not this, so what am I? What's my relationship with this material world, and who is God, and how do I relate with him? So Ravana says, please enlighten me. I understand when you say that I am neither the king nor the body, nor are you fat, dull, etc. We are neither of that. We are Atma. So please enlighten me. So the purpose of the Guru is to enlighten. Purpose of the student is to receive enlightenment. But then, of course, there's a whole protocol. There's a whole maryada to that transaction. The disciple should be very cautious, very respectful, very eager, and very have that courage and honesty to accept the truth as it is, and should be in a mood of inquisitiveness, but not in a mood of challenging. There's a difference between the two. We can't challenge. It's okay to be inquisitive, curious. Like the sages of Naimisharanya were inquisitive, were very curious to know. And they were asking questions, like Parikshit Maharaj was inquisitive, was curious, was eager to know, was eager to hear. Like Vidura, when he met Maitreya, he was asking questions. And Maitreya was revealing what he had learned. So it is okay to be curious, inquisitive, inquire, but respectfully. Like Raghuna, he falls at his feet, says, I think you're representative of Kapila Deva. You're a greatly enlightened person. I think you're walking around in this world in disguise, not letting, like a deaf and dumb person, just to examine and enlighten. So there is the maryada of a disciple. There is the duty of the Guru. So the Guru is supposed to speak the word of God. He cannot invent. He cannot speculate. He cannot misinterpret. Simply has to deliver the word of God. That kind of person is called prophet. Prophet. Whatever is prophesied, whatever is revealed, he speaks the same thing. Whatever is revealed by Krishna, by God, prophet means reveals what has already been revealed. Reveals, shares, explains what has already been revealed by God. For example, if you look at the Pope, the head of the Roman Catholic community, he's at the top. Pope is not God. He's not equated to Jesus he's not equated to Christ. He's not equated to Christ. He's not God. He's not equated to God. His three main functions of the Pope are to teach, to instruct, to guide, to be a role model, and to give moral and spiritual instructions. In the case of the Pope, it's said that he's also, because the Pope also is supposed to give moral instructions in addition to spiritual instructions. Of course, in our scriptures, we don't separate the two. Spiritual, moral, they kind of overlap between the two. So, Pope is a representative. Pope teacher, the biggest teacher. Whom does he teach? He teaches everybody in general. But specifically, he teaches the other people, other levels of priests and cardinals and archbishops and bishops in Christianity. So there also you can see that Pope is respected, he's worshipped, he's adored, because he's a teacher. It's not that the Pope invents something. It's not that the Pope is writing some new thesis or new philosophy or anything new. No, nothing. It's the timeless wisdom as it has come down from the time of the biblical times. Whatever is contained in the Bible. He reveals, he explains, Also it is said that the Pope, like our acharyas, according to time, place, circumstances, they present this. Our acharyas also, there is Deshakala Patra. So they present it. And he's worshipped, he's respected. He is treated with great honor and revered. But he's not God. It will appear as if he is being worshipped like God, the Pope. But he's not God. No Pope has ever claimed to be God. They're only presenting the teachings of of the Bible. So similarly, we also have the acharyas who teach by example, who reveal, like Prabhu is learning from Jada Bharat, and Jada Bharat becomes some kind of a guru. Actually, in Sanskrit, there are many words, very interesting. Sanskrit is such a precise language that there are many words to explain uh, different types of gurus. Various types of gurus are there. Actually, Sanskrit is a precise language, but it's not so much to the credit of Sanskrit as it is credit to the Vedic civilization. It was so complete, it was so exhaustive, it was so perfect, it was so nuanced that there are many types of teachers. I just list some of them, whatever I could figure out, I could get. Like there's one type of a guru called Mantra Data. Mantra Data means specifically a person who gives you some mantra. It said it gives you a sacred mantra, who administers, who gives diksha or administers a sacred mantra. Say, for example, the Gayatri mantra. So, he's a mantra data. Technically, I'm saying mantra data means one who gives the mantra, one who gives you. Now, what is this mantra? This mantra is either it will help you increase your bhakti, purify you, liberate you, or bring you into sattva guna. So such a person is called mantra data. Then there is another person called yogacharya. Now, who is this yogacharya? So yogacharya is one who teaches and guides others on the path of yoga, used in yoga lineage. So there is somebody called yogacharya. Now, yogacharya is not necessarily a spiritual teacher. It could be somebody who's just teaching how to do yogasanas and things like that. Yogacharya. So there is a mantra data, one who gives mantra. Because it is said in our Vedic scriptures that certain mantras have to be given. You can't just take some mantra from the scripture, every mantra, and start chanting, and it may not work. The potency of the mantra sometimes is unlocked only when a guru gives it to you. Otherwise, it's just not really beneficial chanting. It's actually disrespectful to take some mantra from the scripture and go on chanting. There is a paddhati, there is a protocol, there is a way of receiving the mantra. So you go to a mantra data, somebody who's authorized, somebody who's qualified, and then receive the mantra. Somebody who's qualified gives you the mantra. You should also be qualified to receive the mantra. Both ways. It works like that. So yogacharya is somebody who teaches us how to do yogasanas or something like that. Not necessarily a spiritual. Then there's a sadachari, one of pure conduct, a teacher who lives virtuous life, often associated with dharma, teachings of dharma. Sadachara guru, sadachari guru. That means he's specifically qualified to teach about sadachar. Sadachar means dharma. Dharma means principles of truthfulness, honesty. You're having a family, how do you share your property, etiquette, maryada, different things. Sadachar. Sadachar means social behavior. More, how do you respect your father's brother, uncles, aunts, and different things like that. Sadachar. Sadachar means etiquette. Etiquette means courtesy, showing respect, receiving respect. So there is a sadachari guru, and we can learn principles of dharma from him. More dharmic. Dharmic means truthfulness, honesty, not cheating, like that. Not necessarily spiritual. But see, all these people are necessary in a complete society. In a society, in a community, in a social life, we need, sometimes the mantra data is also sadachari, is also our guru. It could happen. Sometimes a person may play multiple roles, but I'm just saying, in this culture, in the culture that we have, then there is somebody called Shrotriya. There is a Vedavit, knower of the Vedas. Found in the Gita and Vedas, one who has mastered the essence of Vedic scriptures, Vedavit. Somebody who knows the Vedic scriptures, the essence of the scriptures, the real purpose of the scriptures, um, uh, what do we learn? How do we implement the scriptures? So somebody is called Vedavit. Uh, well, basically, he can teach you the essence. Sometimes there are people who teach you how to memorize Vedas. That's not so beneficial. Just simply memorize. But a Vedavit will teach you how to memorize, but how to also extract the essence and practice the essence in our life. Because Vedas are not books that are meant to be memorized. Vedas and Granthas and Itihasas and Puranas are books that from which we learn. Krishna is speaking. He's not. It's not a recitation competition. Of course, that's also part of Vedic culture. But we should never understand that Vedas, we need to learn by heart. And that's the purpose for which Vedas are written. We should chant perfect. All that is fine. All that is fine, but Vedas should not be reduced to a set of books that we have to by heart. No. It should not be reduced. Vedas are living scriptures. Itihasas, Puranas, Mahabharata are living scriptures. They're meant to guide, they're meant to teach, they're meant to warn, they're meant to caution us, they're meant to inspire us. Yudhishthira's story inspires. They're meant to inspire, they're meant to, ideal society, you need role models. So they're meant to give you role models. Vedas, when I'm saying Vedas and the supplementary literature. So somebody is Vedavit means he can teach you the essence of the Vedas. So we already saw the Sadachari, then we saw the Mantradata, then we saw Yogacharya, then we saw Shrotriya, a scholar who understands. Okay. Now we go to the next type of guru called Tapasvi, one who performs austerity, respected for their discipline, spiritual strength, and considered worthy teachers. Tapasvi. Tapasvi means one who practices austerity, very disciplined, very pakka, very regulated, disciplined, very regulated, very moderate, very like that. Tapasvi, very intense, very. So tapasvi means practices austerity, which means you can be sure that he'll wake up at 4 o'clock, take a bath in cold water, and come winter, come summer, come rainy, come whatever, and he will be doing at 6 o'clock, he'll be worshipping his saligram, and whatever, 7 o'clock, he'll be reading Bhagavatam, and 8 o'clock, you can, it's like a clockwork thing. Tapasvi means austerity. And he practices austerity. Actually, in Kali Yuga, it is said that the biggest austerity is to speak the truth, be respectful, not just physical discipline. If you are very disciplined but you're not very truthful, then what's the big deal? You're very disciplined but you're offensive. You're very envious. Uh, you're very lusty. You're very greedy. You're ambitious. So what's the big deal? What's the use? So tapasvi means tapasvi should not be understood as somebody who will just torture his body. That's not really the spirit of being a tapasvi. Tapasvi means very honest. Austerity of honesty, austerity of truthfulness, austerity of not gossiping, austerity of being chaste and loyal to Guru's instruction. They are the real tapasvis. But of course, in the technical sense, if you look at it technically, literal sense, tapasvi means somebody who practices austerity. Like for example, summertime, wintertime, anytime he will walk barefoot in Dham. He will do parikrama of Govardhan barefoot, like that. They're all called tapasvis. But sometimes acharyas say that excessive tapasviness is dangerous because it can make your heart very stone-like. And then you start comparing, I'm better than the others, like that. So beyond a point, one has to be cautious. So tapasvis they have to be careful. They cannot give themselves certificates saying I'm a great devotee because I'm able to walk barefoot or different things. So tapasvi means somebody who practices austerity, but in our Vaishnava culture, for us, tapasvi means somebody who's truthful, honest, selfless, liberal, charitable, chaste, practicing these principles, even when it is very difficult to practice. So such people are called tapasvi. Then we have a sannyasi. Sannyasi is renunciate. Though not all sannyasis are gurus, many are spiritual guides. Sannyasi means renunciate. So we can learn from a sannyasi. Sannyasi is on the top of the hierarchy, top of the Varna ashrama system. Renunciate. So he teaches renunciation. Sannyasi has nothing to do with this material world. He neither owns anything, nor wishes to own, nor possesses anything, nor wishes to possess, nor is willing to get used to luxury or comfort. So much so that he will not even stay in the same place for an extended period of time because of the fear that he may get attached to that place or something. Sannyasi, genuinely renounced. He renounces for the sake of pursuing the mission of his guru, renounces for the sake of spreading dharma or something. Sannyasi means renounced. He has nothing other than one fixed goal. Sannyasi means renounces everything except one purpose, one supreme purpose. Sannyasi, sometimes among the Mayavadis, sannyasi means renounces everything. He doesn't even care for guru, doesn't even care for anything. That is literal understanding of the word sannyas, but Prabhupada never was like that. Our sannyasis are yukta vairagis. Our sannyasis are different. They offer their mind, intelligence, body, everything in the service of Guru and Krishna. They offer. They don't renounce. Well, they renounce selfishness. They renounce self-interest. They offer everything that they have, everything that karma gives them, time brings into their control in the service of the Supreme Lord. So sannyasi is very important. In every ashram, there has to be sannyasi who is a renunciate, who is very like Jada Bharata. He was Jada. He was like, didn't care. He had nothing to do with this material world. So sannyasi is like that. And sannyasis inspire renunciation. So we look at sannyasi and then we'll think, okay, someday, if not now, maybe after I'm 50, maybe after I'm 60, maybe I will become renounced and I'll offer everything in the service of my guru. At least at that point of time, sannyasis can inspire us. Sannyasis are a very important role in the society because they have courage to renounce. They have the faith in Krishna, faith. All right. So then, like that, there are other categories. Then there's someone called Dharma Guru, teacher of righteousness, who instructs others in dharma, right conduct, etc. Then there's a person called Shastravit, knower of the scriptures, well versed in scripture and capable of applying in life and teach others how to apply in their life. Then there's another guru called Swami. Swami means somebody who has controlled his senses. Was Goswami. Goswami means like that. Swami also. Swami means one who has controlled his senses, and we know that the biggest, most difficult sense to control is that of the tongue. So somebody who has controlled his senses. Like that, there are many different types of gurus. Then actually in Sanskrit, there is also the Upadhyaya, there is Pramshupalaka, there is Guru, there is Acharya, there is of course, if you look at it spiritually, there is Vartma Darshaka Guru, there is Shiksha Guru, there is the Diksha Guru, there is sometimes the Mantra Guru. Then there are Shiksha Gurus. Shiksha Guru means they will teach you a specific subject. They're very expert in specific subjects such as deity worship, astrology, astronomy, yoga, Sanskrit, grammar, or some subject within the. So they are Shiksha Gurus. You can learn from them. Or the art of music or like that. So there are Shiksha Gurus, there are Diksha Gurus, there are Mantra Gurus, like that. So the point is this, ultimately the point is this. To what degree we accept a Guru? This is a test of our honesty, test of our genuineness to practice spiritual life. To what degree we accept Guru? And how much do we respect a Guru? This is a real test that we have. Prabhupada says you can't have Guru like a fashion. Prabhupada actually makes a very strong comparison. People have dogs as pets, and you come and say, oh, he has a dog, he has a Guru, I also have my Guru. So Prabhupada said that you can't look at having a guru like that. Having a guru is a very, all right, having a guru is a very major responsible decision in life. It's not something very casual. And a guru who is a tattvadarshi, who is a shastravit, who is a sannyasi, who is a diksha guru, they're very special in our life because they actually change our life. They, they, like it's mentioned in this verse, who is a human being, who is not. So the guru makes ordinary living entities into responsible human beings who have a strong spiritual pursuit. He is a guru who can transform, who can inspire, who can guide, who can take you along and helps you make this very important transition in your life, helps you understand the value of human life. So guru is like that. Guru is a very, very responsible. So hence guru means heavy. Heavy means has to be treated with great. And so Hare Krishna. So guru has to be treated with great respect. So you can see from the Vedic model, from the Bhagavatam model, when Vyasadeva is being um, instructed by Narada. Vyasadeva is actually Shaktiavesh avatar, but Narada Muni will come and chastise him. He'll say, why did you write Mahabharata and all the Puranas, and why did you mislead? Why did you misguide? Why did you speak about the glories of fruitive approach, karma kanda, etc.? Hence, you see, people who are practicing are not happy, nor are you happy and peaceful. You're also having so much anxiety that you've compromised, and what you've written is not complete. So Narada Muni will chastise Vyasadeva, and Vyasadeva will be grateful to him. He says, thank you, my dear Narada, my dear Guru, for correcting me, for inspiring me, for pointing out where I went wrong. I will immediately make amends. And that's when he starts writing the Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Guru has a big responsibility. When Dasharatha will refuse to send Lord Rama with Vishwamitra, he will say, I cannot send. I will send 60,000 of my army. If required, I will go, but I'm not willing to send Rama. Rama is such a young person. He doesn't even have mustache or anything. He's just a young kid. How can I take the risk? And Vishwamitra is saying he should fight Tataka and Subhahu and Maricha and great Rakshasas like that. It is Vashishta who saves Dasharatha. Vashishta will take Dasharatha to a side and say, don't do this. You are one thing is you're underestimating the potency and power of your son Rama because you have a fatherly affection. For you, Rama is only your son, but Rama is Rama. He is not an ordinary person. He is supreme personality of the Lord incarnate. Yes, it appeared in your family. It is your blessing. But because of your paternal affection, your thinking is just a small kid. But Rama is God. He is God always. Dasharatha will say, I don't know. You're confusing me by saying all this. Like that, he will say. I don't know. But then Vashishta will say something else. He will say, see, you are the Ikshwaku Vamsha. Vishwamitra, to disrespect Vishwamitra, to not comply by his wish, would be a huge offense, would be insult, offense, would be a very irresponsible act, which will bring kalank, which will bring a black spot, not only to you, your family, but to your whole Vamsha. How can you do that? How can you be disrespectful? And Vishwamitra also will remind Dasharatha, he will say, you promised me in the beginning when I came here. You said whatever you say, you gave me your throne, you made me sit on your throne, you worshipped me, you washed my feet, and you said whatever you command will be my, I will take it, whatever you say, I will take it as a command and I'll execute it. Now you're saying you won't give Rama. You're insulting me. Vishwamitra will actually speak that. Then Vashishta will somehow convince Dasharatha and say that, don't worry. Please understand one thing. If you follow the instructions of the Guru, it will always be auspicious. A Sadguru, a proper Guru, a proper Acharya. It will always be auspicious. It will always be beneficial. It will always be victorious. It will always be good. It is good for you, your family, your khandan, your parivar, your progeny, your lineage. And if you take the risk of not being respectful to the Guru, whatever you do, you think maybe you're saving the life of Lord Rama, but actually it is disastrous. Dharma means follow the command of the Guru. And that following the command of the Guru itself is such a powerful, auspicious activity that it can mitigate anything that, any risk or threat or fear. So you should continue, you should do that. And then he says you'll set a bad example of disrespecting a Guru and Acharya. Like Vishwamitra, who comes to your doorstep and is asking you for something. So that's how Vamana also, when Lord Vamana goes to Bali Maharaj, and Shukracharya tells him, you gave a promise, but doesn't matter, break the promise, it's okay. Huh? Bali Maharaj will say, how can you advise me like that? Then Shukracharya will say, if your life is under threat, if your survival is under threat, if your livelihood is under threat, if your wealth is under threat of being lost, then you can break your promise. Bali Maharaj will say, what kind of philosophy is this? I've never heard this. I never expected you would say this. I'm surprised you're saying this. Bali Maharaj will say, this is very shocking. How could you say that? Then Shukracharya will again try to come. Then Bali Maharaj will say, see, our culture is like this. You're saying he's my enemy. He's Vamana. He's actually Vishnu. The point is that even if he was a Brahmana, come disguised as a Brahmana, I'm duty bound to give whatever he asks. I'm duty bound to give. Because Brahmana is the head of the society. Now you're saying on top of being a Brahmana, he is Vishnu. How can I insult Vishnu? How can I not do what he asks me? Especially when he comes in the form of a Brahmana. If he were to come as Vishnu, maybe it would have been different. But if he has come as a Brahmana, then he knows that there is this culture that we respect Brahmanas, respect the Guru, respect the Acharyas, respect the sannyasis, respect the Shastravits, the Vedavits, and Mantradata, different categories, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, Mantra Guru. Everybody we respect, provided they're bona fide. I mean, see, respecting a Guru cannot be taken sentimentally. Any Guru who has a long beard put some, either has a long beard or a shaved head, we respect. No, that is sentimentalism. We are not like that. So Bali Maharaj will say, I'm sorry, I have to reject you and reject what your instructions. I'm going ahead and doing what this little Brahmana wants. And Shukracharya will warn him. He's like a dwarf now, but he'll become mighty. He'll take everything from you. But like I said, anything that we do in the interest of Guru's command, etc., following Guru, will turn out to be auspicious. After Vamanadeva snatches everything in Bali, Vamanadeva returns it to him. He says, I'm so impressed. I'm very impressed with you. I'm very surprised that you went against the words of your Shukracharya. Can't call him Guru anymore. So you went against what Shukracharya told you and you gave me this. So I'll not only give it back to you, but I will protect it so that nobody else can take it from you. So this proves that following Guru is one of the most essential dharmic component of life, Vedic life. Following the command of the Guru, accepting. So that's when Dasharatha will agree, relent and say, all right. Though I don't like it, though I'm not approving, though I'm scared, though I'm worried, though I don't think I'm convinced, but still because you're telling me that this is auspicious and somehow this will be good for Lord Rama also. And nothing unfavorable will result out of compliance or surrender to Guru. Nothing unfavorable. How can it be anything? How can it be unfavorable? Krishna wants us. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Krishna wants us to surrender. Wants us to surrender to Guru, who is a bona fide representative of Krishna himself. How can there be anything inauspicious or unfortunate or anything? It is the best thing a living entity can do. The ultimate shelter. The ultimate shelter a living entity can get in this material world is surrendering to a Guru, who is a representative of Krishna. So in the Vedic literature, there is so much examples of how to take care of a Guru, how to worship a Guru, how to respect a Guru. And I gave you the example of Vyasa. He was chastised by his Guru, Narada. Narada tells him, you did a mistake. Vyasa accepts. The moment he accepts, all auspiciousness manifests in his heart. That same heart of Vyasa, which compiled the four Vedas and the Puranas where Karma Kanda is glorified. That is worship Krishna to get something from Krishna. The same Vyasa now writes Srimad Bhagavatam because he applied himself very devotedly to the teachings of Narada. So what to speak of respecting a Guru? Lord Chaitanya taught us that even the Guru's associates, even the Guru's god brothers have to be worshipped. Guru's paraphernalia, Guru's presence, Guru's shadow, Guru's dress, Guru's instruction, everything, Guru's associates, god brothers, all of them have to be appreciated and respected. Sometimes Prabhupada says equally as much as you respect your own Guru, they all have to be respected. So this is one turnaround component in one's spiritual journey. The moment we accept a Guru in our life, we can safely conclude that the turnaround, the living entity has turned around and something auspicious. Like in the life of Rahugana, he accepted Jadabharata. He is going to be enlightened now. Jadabharata instructed on the science of bhakti and science of surrender, science of everything. So accepting a Guru is not a mere sentimentality, nor is it passion. It is the most important yardstick by which the sincerity of a living entity is measured. The most important yardstick. Are you surrendering to one person who is teaching the science of Bhagavatam, science of bhakti, science of devotion? Are you surrendering? Are you learning? Are you accepting those instructions? It is very auspicious. It is very proper. So that is the beginning of serious spiritual growth and evolution. And no less an example as Vyasadeva. He was Shaktya Avatar, but he had to wait till Narada had to chastise, instruct him before Bhagavatam manifested. So this is the, and in fact in Lord Chaitanya's lifetime also it is said that only when he went to Gaya and got initiated by Ishvara Puri, that the dormant love of Krishna that he had exploded and manifested completely in full intensity. It is specifically, categorically recorded in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that after he met his Guru, he became a very different person. Completely different. Though he had symptoms of bhakti and intense bhakti and all that, but when he met his Guru, surrendered and took Diksha, then it became manifest completely. The Guru is an eternal well-wisher. Guru is our guide, bridge to Krishna. Guru is our friend. Guru should have the freedom. Guru should have the confidence that my disciple will take appreciation, will take correction also. Not that appreciation is very welcome, correction, no. Guru should have that faith and confidence that I can tell anything to this disciple of mine. He will take it. He will accept it. He will think about it. And he will apply it. So this is also important. Sometimes the gurus don't reveal everything because they think that maybe the disciple is not so qualified. Is not so qualified yet. Doesn't have that kind of a unshakable faith or something like that. And then it's also seen that when Rama went with Vishwamitra, Vishwamitra is teaching Rama the science of military warfare. He's giving different mantras to Lord Rama and say, you chant this mantra, this weapon will come, Vayu, the weapon of wind, weapon of fire, weapon of water will come. Lord Rama is teaching. But Lord Rama respectfully receives this knowledge. He accepts it. And Vishwamitra is saying, you should not misuse it. You should use it like this. You should not, Kshatriyas should use it only to protect Dharma, protect the weak, protect the helpless, protect devotees. Sometimes these weapons may give you pride or something. Like that, Vishwamitra is instructing. Lord Rama is hearing. So that is not sentimentality. That is for you and me to understand that the teacher of the Bhagavatam, teacher of Bhakti, he is the best well-wisher. It is our greatest good fortune that that person has accepted. That's how a devotee thinks. It is my greatest good fortune, my luck, my whatever, that such a personality has accepted me, such an unqualified, incapable, uh, arrogant, proud, this and that person as a disciple. I'm honored that, yes, I'm saved, I'm honored, I'm blessed, I'm purified. Now I don't have to worry. He has accepted me as a disciple. I'm safe. That's how a disciple should look at it. Like, a bit like how Raghuna is reacting in front of Chadabharata. So, and this business is eternal in the sense that it's not that one time we accept Guru, at the time we initiation we take. No, that's the beginning. Seriousness with which we surrender to Guru's vision, instructions, is a lifetime of test. With every passing day, every moment, our faith in Guru should increase. Our renunciation, sannyasi, he teaches us the art of renunciation. Renounce everything except Guru and Krishna. Like His Holiness Japataka Maharaj recently mentioned something very stunning. He said, very stunning actually. He said, other than Guru's instructions and Krishna's service, there's nothing else in this world that matters. A living entity is lonely. He should feel lonely. The only thing that he thinks about is his Guru's instructions and Krishna's service. Otherwise, he should feel lonely. There's nothing. He has no friend. Nothing else matters in this world. So he said something very remarkable like that. So that's how we have to approach a Guru. It may feel very tempting. Why do I need a Guru? Now I learnt everything. I know how to read. I've got Bhakti Shastri. I've got Bhakti Vaibhav. I've got this. I've got that. I'm already devotee for so long. That means you missed the whole point. If you're already devotee, you should actually be even more dedicated to the mission of your Guru. Somewhere something has gone wrong. Some wrong understanding you picked up. And then you feel that I don't need a Guru like I needed then. Now I'm different. Sometimes you become a Guru, but that doesn't mean you forsake your Guru. Sometimes you teach, you instruct, and based on your teaching, people become devotees, but that doesn't mean you forsake your Guru. You are empowered to teach on behalf of your Guru. That's how a devotee will do. So it's interesting in the life of a devotee as they grow, as they evolve, as they go through different tests and circumstances. Sometimes they drift away from Guru, sometimes they get closer to the Guru. Well, even if they drift, eventually the Lord Krishna, Guru is merciful, they bring them back. But sometimes they become envious. Oh, why only he should be? I can also do it. Mind is like that. All kinds of crazy ideas come up sometimes. So we need to be cautious. When the Supreme Lord, as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is eternally always worshipping his Guru, always caring and loving and serving his Guru. So isn't that the perfect role model example? Lord Chaitanya is Krishna. But he In his incarnation of Chaitanya, everybody knows how much prominence he gave to all his gurus, associates, Advaitacharya. Everybody was elder or more senior to him. So careful and respectful. For such people who are like that, the secrets of the Vedic scriptures are revealed in their heart. People who are like that, it's clearly mentioned in our Vedic scriptures that the secrets, the essence is revealed in their heart. And what is that essence? I'm servant of Krishna and Guru. It's revealed. And we develop that faith and confidence and we're peaceful. We are actually a living entity should feel nervous when he's outside the shelter of his Guru or something like that. Should feel nervous, should feel very tense. I'm not sure if my Guru agrees with what I'm doing. I want to make sure. I want to be carefully. I want to be properly situated at the shelter, at the lotus feet of my Guru. This is the mood of it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments? Yes. Yes.
Vishwamitra Muni pastimes, you give that. So, in the Narad Muni pastime, that Vyasdev is totally bewildered actually. He write everything and after that he find out that he is not able to understand the thing. Then Narad Muni came suddenly and then help him.
Correct.
And Lord Ram pastime, Vishwamitra Muni take him from the Dashrath Maharaj. In both the cases, if we find out deeply that this Vyasdev already written and is so much difficulty at that time. So Narad Muni came at that time. So uh, and in the Lord Ram pastime, Vishwamitra history is already we know that how Vishwamitra become Guru after so much happen, fall down, upward, then he become Vishwamitra Muni. So my point is this: for example, we take the initiation, or we have some, we consider someone as a guru. Iskcon is an organization; it's not like one-to-one relationship. Iskcon is an organization, and guru also have some boundaries, and disciple also have some boundaries. Disciple have to stay under the temple president or under the temple instructions, and guru have some GVT understanding. So he cannot go beyond some limitation, and disciple also cannot go beyond some limitation. So in that way, how this relationship will be more strong, and how the dealing will be happening between the guru and disciple.
Yeah. So, in a society like Iskcon, which is an institution, registered society, huge managerial responsibilities and multiple roles, sometimes overlapping, sometimes clashing, sometimes uh, on managerial issues we may have a different opinion, etc. So we also had these kind of doubts, and a few times we went to his own Japataka Maharaj to ask him. He said, see, managerially, it is when we are sitting together discussing some managerial thing, how we want to build this, like we want to build a new block. So there may be two, three opinions, and I may have some idea, you may have some idea. And there's a mechanism whenever a team meets, they vote on it, whoever is, whichever option gets majority voting, that is passed. So His Holiness Japataka Maharaj mentioned that it's quite okay. I mean, you don't have to necessarily uh, unconditionally follow or um, ape or mimic or echo your guru's opinion in everything all the time. It doesn't have to be like that. Actually, His Holiness Japataka Maharaj gave example of Prabhupada. So Prabhupada would sometimes sit in bureau meetings, GBC meetings, meetings. He would talk about it. He would discuss something and say, "You're all intelligent people. I'm okay with whatever you people decide, but verify with me once. Verify." But it's all right. So managerially, sometimes Prabhupada would say that we should accept this donation. We should do it like this, and sometimes they would object, saying, Or Prabhupada will say, transfer this devotee to this place, he did this mistake, he goofed up here. So sometimes they would agree, sometimes they would not agree. They would go back to Prabhupada and give reasons. Prabhupada sometimes would accept, sometimes he would insist. But the point is that on managerial issues, there is scope for us to have our opinion. Managerial matters, legal matters, somebody cannot become expert in everything under the sun. Guru says, I may be guru, but it doesn't mean I'm expert in everything all the time. Please don't treat me like that. That would be unfair. That is not correct. So he would give the example of Prabhupada, how architecture, Prabhupada had people come and Prabhupada would take their advice saying, this is not possible, this is possible, we can do this, we cannot do this. This is risky, this will take more time, this will, you'll end up spending more money, and Prabhupada would go by that kind of an advice. So in a meeting, sometimes we have a meeting and His Holiness Japataka Maharaj participates in the meeting in the SIDC, in the view. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't fully agree. Prabhupada said, that's okay, you don't have to. And let's vote. And whatever is voted, we'll accept. But as far as spiritual things are concerned, as far as instructions are concerned, what should be the goal of life? Our goal of life is very clear. We want to dedicate ourselves to the mission of Prabhupada, Iskcon, whoever represents Iskcon presently. Like that. So we are very clear. So how do we draw a line and say, this is managerial, this is not, this is spiritual, this is this? If you have a doubt, you can ask Guru. You can ask your Guru. He will tell you. He will guide you. Or go to some senior devotee, ask. You can ask. They will guide. So there was the female Diksha Guru issue in Iskcon. There were so many other things. Not everybody agreed with what His Holiness Japataka Maharaj was saying, or Radhanath Swami or Bhanu Maharaj was saying. The Indian leadership was not at all willing to agree. So they differed. The Bureau formed a committee, subcommittee. And the subcommittee decided that we'll postpone this decision for the next 2-3 years. Then we'll review, like that. Everybody accepted. Ultimately, Prabhupada said there will be differences, but it should all be reconciled in the interest of institution and Krishna. It has to be reconciled. In other words, you can't take a difference and say, no, I leave Iskcon, I will go away, I'll form my own society. That's not allowed. That's dangerous. Whatever the majority decides, whatever method the majority votes for, everybody accepts. Everybody accepts. I've seen many cases, His Holiness Japataka Maharaj has some particular opinion, but it's not always accepted by everybody. They vote differently, and it's okay with that. But see, the point is this. As a devotee, we should be cautious, very careful. Sometimes you can check with, like I said, you can check. Sometimes I ask, so how do we deal with this? Guru is pushing female Diksha Guru. We in India feel very comfortable. Guru also knows that the moment he proposes, it's not that the whole of Iskcon is going to accept female Diksha Guru within Iskcon. They don't accept. Some people are uncomfortable. Some people think it's anti-Vedics, not Indian. Maybe it's relevant in America, Europe, or something. Guru also knows that maybe we'll accept it after a period of time. We'll keep trying. Maybe we won't accept. Maybe Iskcon will not accept. Maybe like this whole thing about having multiple gurus, more gurus, second generation gurus. So not everybody agrees with what's being discussed. There's variation. There is, but we have to be patient. Sometimes time reveals everything. See, the whole spirit is this. We can't make hasty conclusions and decisions. Sometimes Krishna you see, ultimately, it's Krishna's society, Prabhupada's society. So, it may not be according to your taste or your preference. Prabhupada, Krishna have their own way of running this movement, running this society. So, a female Diksha Guru, they came up with a compromise. Said, India, we need not have. But maybe in the West, in those countries where it is okay and where we have a problem, we have a legal problem. In the West, if a society is there, it says, certain positions can be occupied only by men, not by women, then such a society is considered discriminatory. You understand what I'm saying? Certain positions are meant only for men and not for women. The rules of the government says then you're discriminating against women. So we will not give you tax clearance, we will not give you permission. You're a very discriminatory movement like that. So in such cases, at least on paper, we'll say that women also can become gurus. So some kind of a compromise is worked out. But you see, time, patience, some maturity. We shouldn't be hasty. We shouldn't conclude. We should wait. Sometimes we get emotionally involved in some issue. We think somebody has done wrong. He should be punished. He should be thrown out. This should happen. But the gurus and acharyas have a different view. They'll say, no, be patient. Give him a chance. He can also reform. Prabhupada gave chances to so many of us. Yes, some symbolic punishment, something can be done, some rectificatory thing, but we don't want to throw him out. Prabhupada said, I spent buckets of blood to make one devotee. How can you throw him out? Like that. So we have to be cautious, we have to be patient, we have to be in Sattva-guna, we have to have faith in Guru, Krishna, Prabhupada, GBC. Should be. But as far as one's personal life is concerned, personal spiritual life, your Guru should be your absolute authority in your life. Managerially, it's different. I remember sometimes we had some crisis in South India. So there was a whole thing about shall we go to take a legal route, etc. So I was involved, I was discussing back and forth, negotiating with one group of devotees and Guru Maharaj, the GBC. And I found that Guru Maharaj was vehemently against going to the police or to recover some land and other things that were stolen by some devotees. He was vehemently against. He wouldn't give me permission. He said, wait, talk, try everything else. Last resort. Go outside. Be patient, talk, wait. Give them a chance. Ask somebody else to talk to those people involved. Very vehement, very strong. And eventually I gave up. I said, okay, all right. Then there was an amicable settlement, luckily. So like I said, when we follow the Guru, nothing auspicious will turn out. We should have that faith. Somehow it will turn out to be right. Somehow, spiritually, Krishna will turn things and make it into a proper decision. You know what I'm saying? Somehow Krishna will act because you're following that eternal principle of Sanatana Dharma, that is, we follow a Guru, worship a Guru, we are under a Guru. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jagat Gurupati Pavan Srila Prabhupada ki